Hey, how's it going, everybody? All right, Russell Moore coming to you live. Dedicated financial literacy. Be sure. I want to say this real quickly. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, the notify bell, and so you can get more content in the future. Again, this channel is for newbies, new investors, baby investors. I established this channel in 2020, I believe, during the pandemic because me and my friends couldn't get together. So everybody was like, hey, why don't you do some YouTube videos? Because I was getting questions about investing, stocks, bonds, and various financial issues. And I don't have a hedge fund background. Never been to Wall Street. Well, I've been there. Been to New York, been to Wall Street. But what I'm saying is I never worked on Wall Street. Okay? Not a financial analyst. Didn't work for a brokerage firm or anything like that. So, but I have I've invested and I've read a lot. I've invested over the years, about 20 years, 25 years. I've on and off, but have acquired a lot of things and learned a lot from the markets and investing in the markets. So from day trading to swing trading, and my favorite, long-term trading or long-term investing is really my strategy. I push fundamental analyzing, although there's nothing wrong with studying the charts. But I think that's more for, like, if you're day trading, that's when you're going to kind of really have an interest in the charts and all the different strategies as a technical analyzing. So, but today, really, what I want to talk about real quickly before I wanted to touch bases with everybody out there, and I hope you're not panicking with the market. I know it's been schizo, so it's been going up and down. But I wanted to say something. There's a Rivian, the truck EV company. I don't know if you've heard the message or got the word that Volkswagen, I think, is Volkswagen has injected about $5 billion, and apparently Rivian was on the way to bankruptcy. Now, let me tell you why that's big news for a Tesla. That means they haven't been able to scale. They're not profiting. And a lot of the traditional car companies, just as Kathy Wood said, I got to go back to what Kathy Wood said. Kathy Wood said 3 or 4 years ago, she said that the traditional car companies were going to have this problem. They were not going to be able to profit. They were not going to be able to profit with their EVs. And that seems to be happening. Now that could change in the next few years, but I'm sorry. And I'm talking about in America. China, that's a different story. Tesla has much more competition in China. And China, they're just spitting out EVs. They're spitting them out. So their market share in China is a lot much lower. But, they're still holding their ground. They're still one of the top car makers in China. But I believe BYD, they're like really pushing it. They're really, they have the smaller, more economical EV cars, and they're just doing it. So they're gaining ground on Tesla if they haven't already surpassed them as far as sales. Now, in America, though, man, Tesla has it. And see, this is Rivian having to rely on Volkswagen. I really believe Tesla's stock is going to go up. I'm not, like I always say, I don't tell people what to invest in and when to invest. I don't do that, okay? There's my disclaimer. I'm not advising you. You do your homework. What do I always say? Gang, what do I always say? I'll do a Caitlin Clark on you. If you don't read, you won't lead. If you don't learn, you won't earn. Get in there and learn for yourself. Get in there and learn for yourself. Read books on investing and trading, economics, the markets, bonds. Read, study for yourself. So that when you do invest in a company, when you do purchase shares of a stock, you're confident because you've done the homework. You've seen the numbers. You've seen the fundamental numbers. Okay? All right, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I always say this, but I guess you got to keep, repetition. Repetition will produce success. If you keep learning and keep learning, the rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But Kobe used to always say, he said, "What is the key to your success?" He says, "I outwork everyone." He was that confident that he felt like he outworked everybody in the NBA. And he probably did when you look at his schedule. I mean, how do you have where most guys, some NBA guys will have 2 workouts a day? 2, 3. Kobe was doing 4. I think he increased to 5 or 6 at one point. I mean, he was obsessive. He was obsessive with films and watching, not just studying players of today, but he also looked at a lot of older players that played in the 70s and the 60s. I mean, he knew about Oscar Robertson, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell. He watched Will Chamberlain, film on Chamberlain. He watched film on Elgin Baylor. A lot of people are like, who is Elgin Baylor? Elgin Baylor is one of the great Laker players of all time. Walt Frazier. The big O, Oscar Robertson. I mean, he did that. And I want to say that. Now, let's switch that over to stocks. Have you ever heard of Peter Lynch? I know a lot of people talk about Warren Buffett, and he's a great. But there's so many others that have been out there, that you can learn from. Have you ever heard of the book, The Intelligent Investor? Graham. So here's all I'm saying. Be a student of the market. Be a student of the stock market. Okay? You'll have a better chance. Study the different strategies. The difference between the growth strategy and value strategies. Growth stocks versus value stocks. So, yeah. So back to Tesla. I'm talking about Tesla, right? Tesla, I believe, is going to go up significantly. These other cars in America, they have not been able to compete with them. And, Elon Musk, man, he has a plan. He definitely has a plan, and he has a vision for this company. And so I know right now their stock is struggling, but they were up today around 4%. 4%, okay, and climbing. They're going to be climbing. They might take a little dip tomorrow, but I guarantee you by Friday, that stock is going to be probably overall for the week, it'll probably do about 10 to 12%. Okay, so keep an eye on Tesla for those that are out there. I believe it's at about 194. And then I was looking at Nvidia. Nvidia is at 124. That is it is a cheap price. One guy was talking about Jackson from man. I'm trying to remember the hedge fund he was with. Hold on a second, because I think I was just reading about that. I want to give you this info. That's Neo. Oh, man, Neo. Hold on a second. Let me bring this up for you, if I can remember. Where was that? Yahoo Finance? Yes. While I'm bringing this up, hold on a sec. And I don't have it. Nvidia. Yeah, here it is. Eric Jackson. That's who it was. Eric Jackson out of EMJ Capital. He was saying by the end of the year it could hit $6 trillion. A market cap of $6 trillion, Nvidia. And for $250 per share is what he's anticipating. I mean, that's massive. That's a massive push. Right now they're at 124. So he's basically talking about that stock will double by the end of the year. Nvidia. Man. And he gives his reasons I'm not going to go into all of that. I've talked about Nvidia. Everybody's been talking about Nvidia, and their fundamentals are just off the chart. Their cash flow, profit, margins, innovation. Nobody's doing the chips that they're doing and the power that they have. Nobody has the customers that they have. I mean, Google, Tesla, Volkswagen. They've got probably pretty much a lot of the traditional car companies. They've got Amazon, Microsoft. I mean, they TSM. I mean, they're probably, man, they're running on all cylinders right now. So Nvidia is going to be, they're anticipating it's hitting a $6 trillion market cap. I mean, that's unheard of. That's incredible. So I'm not going to tell you to buy the stock, but right now I will say this: it's cheap. Based on its price to earnings multiples, that stock is cheap. And I was looking at it today and say, yeah, it's about $124 at the close of the market, $124 per share. All right, so that might be a buy, as Jim Cramer says. So, but that's pretty much it, you guys. I'm not going to talk about anything else on the market. I think keep an eye on your portfolio. Make sure you got some risk management in place. So even though you might have all these stocks that you are expecting to go up, make sure you have some put options or something to litigate some of your losses in case those stocks start coming down. You can make some money on the way down. Okay, so make sure you got some risk management in place. Don't just buy stocks expecting them to all go up. The market, you never know when we're going to get that big correction. When you never know. I believe before the end of the year, we're definitely going to have a strong correction somewhere. All right? So thank you guys for tuning in. I love you. Remember, keep an eye on Tesla. Keep an eye on Nvidia. If you don't have any of those stocks, I'm not going to. I did say buy, didn't I? I'm not telling you to do that. Study and then buy. Research and then buy or sell. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Holla, y'all.